I grew up, I guess my family was involved in the church. And I remember going to Sunday service, being one of those kids that was forced to go. But, being selective hearing that I didn't know I had until, later on, it was bits and pieces that I caught. Those things did stick with me. Um, the readings, stuff like that. But it was key things that stood out, like, there is to some people a God or somebody, that is there for you. Um, those things are the ones that stood out, not the punishing part to a certain extent, but the one that, he's here to help you out, to guide you. Um, one of the ones that always stood out was to be a good son, because you never know, who you might be bumping to. That might be God testing you in a way, or seeing to see if you are, practicing what you're saying that you are. Though that I remember when I was a kid. Later on, I got older, and of course, I walked away from it. And even when I joined the service, and that was pretty much my job, was to work in an office that involved working with the chaplain. I didn't really want to get involved. My job was pretty much just the clerical part. It wasn't until I experienced my, growing up over the summer. Yeah, that's what pretty much happens to seems like a lot of people in the middle. That's how I experienced it. And I was talking to another uh, um, person that I've met. It seemed like over the summer, went from 18 to an adult, or 17 into an adult. And it's when I started experiencing what I don't think I was ready for. I think everybody else, it seemed like everybody else grew up at a pace, and they grew up to be adults. When mine's over a summer, I was expected to be an adult. And the pressures, and then of course me starting to, take on the alcohol. And it seemed like life was not going the way I thought it should have been going. Um, and it just seemed like over time kept on getting worse. But I still, in my mind, started thinking, why am I going through this? Um, there's always that one, why is God doing this to me? Why is he like punishing me? Why is he me going through this? I'm trying my best. Um, it's not until in time, it really started getting like worse. And of course, it's like we always say, it seems like you pray for him to get you out of the mess. And then when he does get you out of that one mess, you're fine. You hear it a lot. I've heard it a lot, and I can say that I was one of those people. Um, it took taking a beating, through my going through my alcoholism, the divorce, the dealing with work, with life, that I want to say I started getting like what I never thought would be, maybe it's just the depression. Things started just building up, and it was just the one thing, it's you pray, God, just get me out of this. But it just seemed like the more I got deeper, at least for me, the more the prayer was more to that. When it got to that one point, is where the prayer, it seemed like it was more sincere, is more from the heart, more when you tear up, that you finally hit that spot. And and that's when, I just realized, I just couldn't do what I was doing. I had to get some sort of help, you know. Um, it was from then that, what, I met some people that helped me out, but it was that one that I needed to hear, was that you needed to find your higher power, or tap into that. And it's been from there where I never thought, obviously, with time and all that, that I've been practicing patience, but now looking at things that, my prayers, I pray more, way more. I never thought I was going to be this. And I realize it's the spiritual part is what I needed. That's what I was really looking for. Not only, the physical of stepping or removed from my issue of the alcoholism, but it's to, get a clearer mind, and to start focusing on what I needed to do, and figure out why I was going through all that stuff, and how I can do to get myself out of that and get better into a much better way of life, of being a better version of me. You started looking at, like I mentioned before, it's the, you even get a little, establish like a little corner where it's like, it's your little, it either your little temple or your little thing, where you just like dedicate your little moment to that, and it's become a routine, and the prayer becomes a little bit longer, a little bit more sincere. It's you start going through life, and just like, some people say, you start even when you're driving. I'm not a saint. I still get my people cut me off, or I'm just, get a little irritated, but I'm starting to look at life different, and then looking at really what I never thought would be, trying to look into the positive out of every negative event that I go through. What am I supposed to? There's a reason why I'm going through this. It's for me to learn something, and to learn out of this little event that might be, I was just thinking about that, and when you're in the freeway, I've heard this before. Sometimes some people look at it as a God shot. Let's say you get a flat tire. You're mad that you got the flat tire, but then you go finally get it fixed, and you go 2 miles down, and it's a big wreck. Maybe he got you out of that. Little things like that are beginning to happen, and then you start thinking, you know what? It's got to be something. My life is getting a little better, and the more I believe in this force, or whatever it might be, your higher power, it's when I start feeling more relaxed, more calm, and I still get, like I said before, I still get a little moments, but you know what? Compared to 4 years, I am more where people can be talking bad or at me at work, and I really don't care. You know, um, you find yourself praying for people. You find yourself praying a lot. Um, just thinking about it. Solitude used to suck before, the being alone, and now I'm realizing. And I heard somebody say that's your moment when you're with that one being. And it's your chance to speak. Either you don't have to open your mouth, to just put it out there, and you'll get your answers. It's that one-on-one. And now it's I'm for me, at least for me, being by myself, it's not that bad. I'm constantly thinking, you know, you know, yeah, you know what? It's comparative what my life was 4 years ago, and it's not the best, but it's way better, and it can only get better. And you know, eh, and I have Facebook, so sometimes I get those little messages or what have you. Don't give up, keep praying. For some reason, I get them, you know, or little things like that. And now you're thinking, well, maybe this is his way of talking to me because he knows everybody's on social media. Maybe that's the way he's connecting to me, is to tell him, send me these little messages, don't give up trials, or whatever whatever trial you're going through, you know, keep the faith. That's another one that's you strain. In my prayer towards the end, I help me strengthen my faith and restore my hope. Because at that, now that when I think about it, I just like, I felt that I had no hope. I was done, you know, and it wasn't until you finally look for that something that can get you, that motivates you, that you feel inside. It's a yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, I can feel it. Um, it's I'm more aware spiritually. Like I said, that the spiritual part, um, it's what gets me. I think that's what I needed. You know, um, I don't like to get into religious arguments, just like the politics and all that. But it's just something about that, having that belief that, something's helping me out. Somebody is actually looking out for me, and yeah, and it's come to that conclusion that, that being whoever it is, God was looking for me, looking out for me the whole time. You know, He was always looking out for me. You know, whatever it was, and now it's whatever it was that I was going through is to prepare me for something. At least that's what I feel like. For whatever mess that I went through, I'm making it through. And then you start thinking, what? Now that I know a little bit of what that pain is, or the event, or the people that they've been put in front of me, they help me out. I gotta help somebody out. It's one of those things that I also read that, um, it's to be more compassionate, practice. Maybe that's what we need, is just that a little bit of love. Everybody's looking for, you know, man, if only I had somebody to help me out. You and to me, it came, if it was in that garage when I was really crying, you know, and then I couldn't do it, and I ended up at a detox place, and then I found some common people. But it's 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 that thought was put in my head that, there's somebody looking out for you. You gotta be thankful. You're not, just don't give up. Just strengthen that communication, that faith, um, always. And like I've said, I don't go out there preaching, telling everybody. It's now I talk to them different. I talk with them or to them different. I start now. It's like to look at somebody. Maybe they're mad because they're going through something. Maybe I can help if they want. But it's to every day, you know what? Is to look at life different for me, at least for me, different, way different than I ever thought I would look at it. Every day is a new day, every day is different. The sun shines, but for some reason it shines different today. You know, I hated going outside. Now it's, you know what? I want to be outside. I want to explore. I want to see life. Um, it is to me what it feels like another chance of life. And it's that constant, just thinking about it. You know, he's actually looking out for me. Whatever it is I'm supposed to do today, it'll come, it'll happen. And whatever it is that I'm supposed to learn from it, I have to take it as that. You know, you end up picking up other little bits of pieces from other literature. You can go from verses in the Bible, or I've picked up stoicism. Little things that philosophy. Pick up little things that stand out. You know, here and there, anything that would help me out or just give me what I need to hear for that day or that moment. Like I said, to me, for some reason, it's been happening on Facebook or whatever social media it is. I get a message, to constantly pray or just not to give up. Um, yeah, you follow or you get bits and bits from whatever it might be. But it's yeah, it's helped me out. That now I want to help somebody out. You and then to talk to other people, they have the same ideas or beliefs, just like you. It's when we talk, it's always a good conversation. We're about uh, uh, the spiritual part, the higher being, you know, what helps us out, what we do. Um, it's sometimes I think about it. I a lot of people listen to music, and there's certain songs that will like trigger me. I mean, not trigger, but they'll click and they become special to me. Like it might be something in the song or just the way that it seems like a message to me. But like for me, Let It Be. It's everybody listens to the Beatles, but to me, every time I hear that song, it's just maybe it's him sending somebody to send me a message or just to say, hey, you know what, I'm sending you something, or you need to get a little bit on your or whatever it is, your routine or whatever it is that you got to do. It's just a reminder. Sometimes it's just a reminder that I'm here. I'm here. Um, and yeah, you know, days are better. Days are way better, and it's always praying or talking. Even when I'm just like maybe just sitting there, I probably am meditating, um, or just the thought, that you're connecting. That's my thing. Just to sit in silence and just listen for something, some sort of message. Um, that's what helps me out. That's what I do. To talk to other people. Those the my group has changed. The people that I associate, they're negative. maybe we'll just talk like business associates or somebody that I acquaintance. But when it starts getting really negative, I don't want any of it. I'm more into like getting that positive vibe. That's been working. When you replace and then you get a whole new group, and it's just I've seen where there was a meme like that. Associate yourself with people that are gonna level you up, help you grow, um, get better. Um, and that's what I try to do. You know, it's just like-minded people. You know, it's mm, yeah,